What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Robert Timms, one of the OGs of Classic Physique Division, winning the Oklahoma Pro, which happened last night and qualifying for the Olympia this year, and for the very first time since 2021. So the reason I call him the OG is because he is only one of the few guys left who are still actively competing, who were there when this division was originally created back in 2016. And he was actually able to place top 6 at the Olympia 2016. And only 2 more guys other than Robert Timms are still actively competing in Classic, who were there in 2016. And those 2 are some of the biggest names in this division. One of them is 2 times Arnold Classic champion Terence Suffin, and the other one is 2 times Mr. Olympia champion Breon Ansley. So it is so great to see Robert going back to the Olympia stage. I believe he placed 10th at the Olympia 2021, and the judges will always have the same feedback for him. They need to see bigger legs on him, so that he has more of a balance between his upper and lower half. And that is one of the best upper body in Classic Physique Division. He looked even bigger than Texas Pro 2021, which was arguably one of the best looks of his career. So congratulations to Robert for making it to the Olympia stage. But I still think he is gonna have problems at the Olympia stage because of his weakness, which will be a lot more pronounced when he's standing next to better competition. But still, he is a great addition to this year's Mr. Olympia. Next up, we have a 10 weeks out physique update of Samson Dauda, who is pushing really hard in this offseason. So he is gonna hit 330 pounds, even before he leaves for Kuwait. And we just cannot imagine how huge Samson is gonna get when he is 100% locked in, because he is gonna be there in Kuwait for almost 16 weeks. So all Samson will be doing when he is there is eat, sleep, train and repeat, which is an ideal scenario for a competitive bodybuilder, especially for a guy who is trying to win the Olympia title. So a lot of experts out there advise him not to get as heavy as 330 pounds in the off-season. But here is the fact. He has a weakness that he needs to bring up, and that weak body part is his back. He needs more density in the back shorts, and Samson not being as good from the back as he is from the front is one of the major reasons why he hasn't been able to beat guys like Derek Lunsford or Hadi Choopan so far. Plus his conditioning is also a major factor, which hasn't been close to either Hadi Choopan or Derek Lunsford, who both have been ruling the men's open division for the last couple of years. And that is also a major reason why some of the fans out there believe that Nick Walker is gonna beat Samson Dauda, because Samson's conditioning isn't as good as Nick Walker's either. But all that being said, Samson Dauda, I think we can all agree, is a different breed. He is over 6 feet tall, with unbelievable genetics, especially in terms of muscle that he can pack on, and still flow extremely well top to bottom. Just take a look at the rate at which Samson Dauda has gotten bigger, especially since 2021. He literally has outgrown a lot of the people who were just as big as him in 2021. And some of those guys even took an entire year or more than a year off. For instance, we have guys like Rafael Brandao and Quentin Beastfoot who took a lot of time off to pack on some size, some muscles on their frame. And these guys are not even close to Samson Dauda in terms of size and thickness. So the thing with Samson is that he needs to get in that condition that the judges want to see on him. And if he's able to achieve that, he is gonna be unstoppable. So is that gonna happen this year? Well, as of right now, we do not know. As much as we liked Samson Dauda and Milos's partnership together, now that it's over, there is a different kind of anticipation from Samson Dauda this time, especially when it comes to him moving to Kuwait, because almost everyone is expecting something different this time around. Next up, we have a physique update from Regan Grimes, another guy who is gonna be pushing 300 pounds very soon. Man, Regan looks absolutely wild and big in his latest update. His back has always been his strong point, specifically his lower half with those crazy hamstrings. One of the best in the game. So as disappointing as we are all that Regan isn't competing this year, let's give him the props that he wasn't delusional like some of the other guys who believed it's realistic for them to crack top 6 in a lineup like this one. Because 2024 Olympia lineup is turning out to be really stacked. So regardless of the improvements that Regan made during the 2024 offseason, he wasn't good enough where he saw himself in that first call out at the Olympia. And we all know Regan has been pushing for more density, more mass, and overall more size in some areas, like his chest, his quads, and of course his arms, especially since the Olympia last year. So he did not compete after the Olympia last year, and people were expecting him to do an earlier show, so that he can get his Olympia qualification as early as possible. So now this is gonna be a very long off season, the same way he had in 2021, when he skipped the big stage, although he was qualified that year. So as per the information available on Google, Regan is 30 years old. So he is fairly young, and as long as he makes this offseason count, I think that is gonna be worth it. Berhouz Tabani is ready to step on Pro Classic stage in less than a week's time now. So what a great talent this is in the men's open bodybuilding. And maybe this is his luck here, where he will finally be able to step on the Olympia stage. But we all know what his situation is like with his visa for the US, and unfortunately, things aren't looking that good this year either. But I am glad to see that Berhouz is gonna put himself out there this year. He's gonna compete against some of the best in the world, like Michael Krizo, William Barnack, Nathan Diasha, and possibly some other big names at Dubai Pro this year. Now he might not be as big as some of these other guys, but his conditioning is always one of the best in any show that he enters. So Berhouz was able to outcondition Samson at Romania Pro last year. And Romania was a contest where Samson brought a very well-balanced package in terms of everything. So this time Berhouz will definitely gonna be a few pounds heavier, especially in comparison to last year. He has progressively gone bigger since 2021. That was the year Berhouz came onto the scene and made his pro debut at Romania Pro. So very excited to see on how he compares to the likes of Michael Krizo, who is the defending champion at Pro Classic Spain. Plus, not to forget, he is the 7th best bodybuilder in the world right now. Next up is the update from the former 212 Mr. Olympia champion Kamal. So is he ever gonna compete again? Well, we cannot really say. I don't think he will ever be able to win the 212 title again. The guy is gonna be turning 53 this year, and we saw some signs of his waistline getting wider in the recent years. But still, I have to say the man is one true legend of the bodybuilding sport. I mean, no one can look like Kamal the way he looked when he won the Masters Olympia last year, when you are 52 years old. So detailed, so chiseled. And he was able to beat some mass monsters, like Max Charles, like Phil Clahar. So if I'm not mistaken, he is the only guy out there who has won both the 212 title as well as the Masters Olympia. So the Blade Dexter Jackson was the one who won both titles in the Men's Open and the Masters Olympia. Now Kamal did say that he wants to end his career by competing in the Men's Open bodybuilding at the Olympia stage, at least once during his career. And he did get his chance last year, but unfortunately because of some health reasons and some family emergencies, he was unable to compete at the Olympia last year. So Kamal had a 20 years plus pro career. So definitely a great example to follow for the young guys, especially in the lesson of longevity. Shaun Clarida is going to enter this year's Mr. Olympia with a lot of confidence, and that is exactly what's needed in order for him to get his title back. Just take a look at the hashtag with 18 weeks to go. So we haven't seen any recent pictures of him, but any of you guys who have followed Shaun's career, you know he is going to be looking crazy at 18 weeks out of the Olympia. So Shaun believes he lost the title last year because he wasn't at his best, and that is what's going to make this year's 212 title fight extremely exciting. But that being said, I have to say when you look at another progress picture of Keon Pearson at 18 weeks out, you should just wonder, how would anyone beat this structure? So this is without a shadow of a doubt one of the best front double biceps ever in the bodybuilding history, and not just in the 212 class, in the entire bodybuilding sport. So Keon, after winning the Olympia last year, has been 100% motivated. He has been extremely focused throughout this year's offseason, which is just bad news for all of his competition, and that includes Shaun Clarida as well. Because when an athlete like Keon, who is a genetic marvel, when he starts putting everything together, it is extremely hard to catch up. We have seen that so many times in the past. So with this offseason in the books, we might see one of the best Keon to ever step on the bodybuilding stage. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.